So let's have a conversation. So earlier I did I did a video on teach God teach me how to pray. And I am talking about how to pray because I was saying in my last video that there are some people that I know where they have said I don't know how to pray. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And you know what? I didn't know how to pray either until I started praying. Like the disciples teach me how to pray. And what he did was he would bring people to me. And I kid you not, that's when I started to pray. And I was like, oh, okay. But I was also hearing what the Spirit was telling me to pray. So I would pray for things, and people were like, oh, like, how did you know that? And I'm like, I didn't. So another way of praying is praying in the Spirit. And how you pray in the Spirit is when you speak in tongues. Some people have the gift, and some people don't have the gift. If you want the gift, pray and ask God to give you the gift for speaking in tongues. And that's another way of praying. And when you're praying in the Spirit, he said, pray continuously. And you're going to hear my grandson in the background because I kid you not, every time I do a video, for some reason, if I'm home, he has so much to say. But anyway, so also praying in the Spirit is very, very important. Because talk about shifting things. Like if you want to see things change in the physical, it needs to change in the spiritual first. So that's another way of praying. Another way is that we don't even have to open up our mouths because he already know before we even think it. He already knows. The Spirit is already interceding for us on our behalf before we even open up our mouths. So that's another way of praying. Tears is a way of praying, crying, because God knows. The brokenness is a way of praying. Surrendering is a way of praying. Worshiping is a way of praying. Having a grateful heart is a way of praying. So there's so many different ways of praying. It just depends on your situation and what you're trying to, and how you're trying to connect with God. And it's the easiest thing to do. And once you start to do it, it's just 1, 2, 3. Like if someone said to me, and it happens all the time, could you pray for me? I will drop everything and let's get to praying right now. Because some people say, oh, I'll pray for you when I get home, or I'll put you on my prayer list. No, let's go to our Heavenly Father right now. Let's address that right now. He said you have not because you ask not. So let's go and ask. Let's go right now. I don't wait until I get home because I know if I get home and I'm like, oh, I'm going to pray, a lot of times I won't remember. So let me do it right now. And then a lot of times in the morning, I'll remember the Spirit to bring it back to me. But that's also another way of praying. But like I said, there's certain books I do use that help me and teach me, that has helped me, and that I still use that shows me how to pray certain things and like targeting certain things and knowing how to go to his throne, approaching his throne, you know. You have to like approach him a certain way. It's like approaching the judge in a courtroom. You guys have no idea. There's a book called The Courts of Heaven. I can't remember who it's by. I think the last name is Henderson, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have it out. I have a bunch of books, but that's not one of them that's out. That's a book that I was using, and that teaches you how to approach him. So if you need any information, like I said, you can send me a direct message. I can show you all the books that I have used. I use Fire Prayers, which is by John Ramirez, and he is like breaking generational curses and witchcraft and all the evil doers and destroying and dismantling and calling out, casting out. That was one of my first books and one of my most powerful books. And also another prayer book my cousin gave me. That one came from like a church or something. That book is like destroyed because I used it so much. I just got 2 other books off of TikTok. One is Warfare. I think it's Warfare Prayer, Prayer Warfare. That was like $5. And there's another book that I have. I just got, Demons Must Flee. I used a prayer this morning and something was like broke right off of me and I felt it and I was like, but that was actually yesterday morning and I was just like, oh, okay, I don't know what that was, but we got you. You out of here. So anyway, this is part 2 from the video before. And that is just giving you an idea of how to pray because many people don't know how to pray. And my client used to say, you have the hotline directly to God. I'm like, we all have it. We just don't know how to use it. Or we use it when it's convenient. Yes. So I pray this message bless someone. I pray you all have a fantastic evening. Until my next video.